I bought this M4 instead of a house at 20 years old. I know, pretty stupid, right? But don't worry, I can actually explain this stupid financial decision I made and why I did it with my 4 top reasons on why I'll do this instead of buying something smart like a house. If you're under the age of 16, you probably thought that that's a great idea. Buy your dream car, don't worry about the house. Houses are boring. Well, the fact is, most millionaires in the whole world are actually made through buying and selling and owning real estate, as that's pretty much the most valuable asset anyone will own in their whole life. So for me, at 20 years old, with the money and the opportunity to buy a house, to go out and buy a car, which everyone knows depreciates, doesn't go up in value, doesn't really make much sense. But don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to buying a house. It's a smart thing to do, and I definitely recommend you should do it if you could. And in the future, I plan to own my personal properties, investment properties, all that stuff. It's a very, very good, safe idea to make money. But safe can be boring. But before we start the video, I want to address 2 things. One, yes, we are in the same location that we filmed the other video on about cars being motivation. It's a good location. I didn't want to film here again though. But you know what the problem is? Well, as you can see from the car, and also the rain over there, well, it's been raining all day in Melbourne and it doesn't look like it's going to stop. So don't worry about the scenery, worry about looking at me and the car and listening to what I'm saying. And the second thing is I'm very gutted, as today I wasn't just meant to film with my 420i, I was also meant to film with my dream car, but because of the weather, we weren't able to take it out. But anyways, that video will be coming quite soon, so get excited for that, because I definitely am. Regardless, this video is still going to be a banger. So if you can relate to any of this stuff, make sure to comment down below your thoughts, like, and give me a subscribe. Come on, we're almost at 2,000 followers. That's crazy. My goal is 1,000, and we're almost at 2. Anyways, into the video. The first reason why I bought this dream car over a house is I got an amazing deal, and I could not say no. For reference, these cars in Australia are about $55,000 to $60,000, depending on the condition. And with Australian homeowner grants like the first buyer's scheme, where they cover your stamp duty or they do half the deposit, well, you can get an average family home for that money. Around a $600,000-700,000 home with a $60,000 deposit. But that begs the question, why would I get this? Well, like I said, I got a crazy deal. I bought this car and it began with the number 4. Not a 5 or a 6. It didn't start with a 50 or 60,000. It started with a 40. So when this deal presented itself, I could not say no. Also adding in the facts, I've got OEM aftermarket parts like the competition wheels, the center caps, and the exhaust. Well, that just increases the value. I know the Chinese air intakes, they decrease it, but don't worry, I'll get rid of those before I sell the car. So that pretty much means if I turned around and I said, I want to sell this car tomorrow, well, I'll be making thousands of dollars in profit, just like that, by selling the car, moving on to the next best thing. I've made lots of money. But don't worry, in the future, I'll make a video on how you can buy cars for cheap, flip them or keep them for a while and sell them for break even or even a little bit of profit. But going back to that point of selling it, if I wanted to sell it, I could sell it quickly, money in my pocket, and go do whatever I need to do. Unlike a house. If I listed this tomorrow on Facebook Marketplace for $50,000 with all the parts and everything, I could sell it like that, the money would be in my bank account the next day, and I can go spend the money on what I want. But if I needed to sell the house quickly because whatever, a medical emergency with the family, anything like that, it's not as quick. I've got to list it online, I've got to sell it, let's say I sell it within 5 days, then there's a settlement period which goes from 30 to 90 days, and then I've got to pay out the bank for the money I loaned them and the interest on top of that. So even if I sell it for the same price I bought it, I'm still losing money because I've got to pay early exit fees and interest fees to the bank. But yes, I know, if I held onto the house for 5 to 10 years, it will grow in value and I'll make money. I know, don't worry, you don't need to comment it. I understand. I'm just saying, within the next year or 2. All good? Thank you. If you've been watching me, you know I always preach you should buy the cars outright if you can, and that's what I've done with all my cars so far, and I keep planning to do in the future. Just that access to be able to get that money straight away without any loopholes is an amazing feeling, and it lets you sleep like a baby. And like almost every car on the road, apart from exclusive hypercars, every car goes down in value, and this one is no exception, and I know it will depreciate over time. But with all my cars, I don't keep them long. In fact, this is the longest I've ever owned a car, and I think it's going on 8-9 months now. Every other car I've sold in under 6 months. I'm not planning on getting rid of this car soon, so don't worry, another year or 2 at least. I love it, and I know you guys love it as well. And of course I have to keep it for all the content that comes with it. But I know when I do go to sell it after that year or so, I'll be maybe lucky and make some money, or if not, well, then I'll just break even, which, I mean, I'm not complaining getting to drive around in an M4 for a few years, and I broke even in the end. I didn't actually lose money on buying and selling the car. But again, you have to buy the car at the right price to be able to do that. And that's the first reason why I bought this car. For the second reason, I've come back to where I filmed the video from 2 weeks ago, the motivation video. And that is the second reason. Buying this car has motivated me to just want more and more and more. I'm not gonna sound like a broken record talking about the same thing I did in the other video, so don't worry, don't click off just yet. But buying this car has made me want to achieve so much more. I've achieved my dream and my goal. Now I'm just thinking, what is the next dream? What's the next goal that I want to achieve now? And a lot of successful people will always say that you have to set goals. I had the goal of buying this $50,000 to $60,000 car. Now I've got the goal in my mind of, I want to buy a $100,000 car. Once I get that car, it's going to be $200,000. After that, it's going to be $1 million car. It just keeps evolving over time, which in turn makes you want to make more money and be smarter with your money so you can afford these things, not the other things in life. And just a little disclaimer, if you cannot afford to buy your dream car at your age, don't do it. You're going to set yourself in financial burden for maybe even the rest of your life. So don't do that. Only do it when you're financially comfortable and are in the right position and timing in your life to be able to go out there and buy that car you want. When I was 15 years old, before I even had a license or a learner's permit or anything, I set myself the goal of I want to own a C63 or a BMW M4 by the time I reach 25, and I really want to achieve that. Well, I did that 5 years earlier at 20. That only makes me think, what's the next thing that I can achieve? I've got the goal of owning a supercar before I turn 30 in my late 20s. Who knows, that might be in a few years now. Obviously, my goal is to get it before I turn 29 and 364 days before then. But if I can do it any time before that, well, I beat the goal and I achieved what I wanted to. Even though if I look at my goal and it says I shouldn't achieve this for another 4 or 5 years and I've done it, well, that's a good thing. That means I can set scarier and bigger goals, and I've got the actual belief that I can achieve them, and even sooner than the deadlines. And this goes for every aspect in life, whether you want to buy a house, you want to get a pay rise, whatever you want to do. If you set that goal and you work towards it, well, you'll get there sooner than if you never had the goal in the first place. Anyways, that's enough of that topic. I've already spoke about it in the other video, so make sure you check that video out after this one. But let's get into topic number 3, on why I bought this car over a house. And the third reason why I chose this car over buying a house at 20 is the social media potential. But you probably noticed that the audio in the video quality got worse. Let me show you why. Let me show you quickly why my quality has gone weird. As I was filming the last clip on the last one, I dropped the camera and broke my lens. So that's another $800 down the drain. Need to buy another one now. But I'm not too phased, as this is my passion. I love making videos of the car with me for you guys. I absolutely love it. So buying another camera is, well, the least of my worries at the moment. I've got 3 pages across YouTube, my current one I'm filming on now, almost 2,000 subscribers, my Instagram, almost 2,000 followers, and my TikTok with almost 16,500 followers. So clearly you guys love watching the content and I love making it. And this car has made my videos blow up on all 3 platforms compared to what I was posting in the past. If you remember me from back in the day, I used to make content in as well, but it never really got as popular as it did until I bought this car. And people always say, all he talks about is this M4, why doesn't he talk about something else? Well, clearly it's working. You guys like it, I like it. It makes the videos fun and exciting, so I'm gonna keep doing that. But the ultimate dream for me is to take this thing full time, like the Stradman or Jake Schnatner. They've got heaps of cars, they make an income off it, and they do what they love. That's the main thing, do what you love. I don't care if I earn average wage doing this content stuff. I love doing it every day, and it doesn't feel like work to me. I enjoy the whole process of it, even though editing can be a bit boring. And building that community with you guys about myself and the passion for cars we all share, well, it puts a smile on my face regardless of the money. So I love that aspect of it also. And as dumb as it sounds, this car to me is a business expense. I mean, my YouTube is my business. It's something that I work towards every day. And buying a car like this means I can make more videos to fund that business, whether that's driving the car, modding the car, talking about the car like we are now. Everything links back to the YouTube and the business behind doing YouTube. So technically it was an investment buying this car, as the way I'm making videos with it is actually to grow the YouTube channel and to build my socials, not just to drive around on a Friday night and look cool because I have a nice car. That is the third reason on why I bought this car over a house, because filming videos in the house, well, it wouldn't get as many views as this car does right here. And finally, I've left the best for last, the real reason why anyone would go out and buy their dream car at all. Well, you bought your dream car. That's the reason. The dream is achieved. Every car guy has a dream car and they want to buy it in their lifetime. And being able to say I did that at a young age, it's a lot cooler than an old age. Let me explain. Yes, if I did the safe route and I had a Lamborghini by 40, that'd be awesome. I mean, Lamborghini, check off the bucket list. But I won't enjoy it as much as when I'm 40 with kids and pets and the house and all that. Whereas now I'm young, yes, you can call me young and dumb, but at least I get to enjoy the car how I want to. Because I know at 40 years old, I won't be enjoying it or driving this car how I would be today. In my opinion, that's missing the whole point if you wait till the very end of your life to be able to own a cool car and drive a cool car. The glory years for most people is between 18 to 29, and that's when you're going to enjoy this car the most and, well, your life the most. So why wouldn't you want to do that with a car that you always wanted? The memories that I build and continue to build every time I drive this car are things that I'll never forget. I've made friends, business relationships, everything because of this vehicle right here. So I can't just give that up. That's a cost that I'm losing if I didn't own the car itself. So the opportunity cost of not owning this car, well, it'll definitely come into play also. And let's be honest, it'd be pretty cool to tell my kids, well, you know, back in the day, your dad used to drive an M4 at 20 years old on his P plates. Not to stroke my ego, but that is pretty cool to say. The truth is, buying an investment property is a lot smarter than buying a sports car. But I've always been business minded and an entrepreneur at heart. And if I didn't give it a go, buying my car and making the social media and motivating myself to do better things, I'd honestly be kicking myself for the rest of my life. So I took the risk, I took the plunge, and I bought the car instead of buying a house. I must state, and I'll state it in the description and everywhere so it's clear, this is not financial advice. I recommend you should go buy a house. This video is just me giving the 4 reasons on why I bought this car instead of one. Do whatever makes you happy, just don't set yourself broke doing it, all right? That's just the only message I want to get across. If you enjoyed watching this video with me and the M4, even though we lost a camera in the process, I really appreciate you watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And next week, if everything goes to plan, we've got a banger video with a car that starts with L and has a V12 in it. So, fingers crossed that goes to plan this time.